What is up, Tube users, and welcome back to another fantastically fun games for under $15. Today, we are talking about another one of my favorites, not in my top 10, but definitely in my top 15 games of all time, and that is World War Z. I remember I got this game back when it first came out in 2021, and really having no expectations for the game. I just wanted something new to play. And then I just decided this game came out and picked it up, and oh my god, I was blown away. And I mean, it literally just came out with a new DLC pack this week, so it's still getting updated, not very frequently, but it still is getting updated and stuff, which you love to see from a game that's not like a AAA but feels like a AAA quality kind of game. The thing I love about this game is it takes the identity sort of Left 4 Dead, where you're just kind of going through these replayable missions and nothing really changes, but the killing of massive amounts of zombies is just so satisfying and so fun. I honestly can't think of another game where you kill as many, just whatever, whether it's zombies, whether it's people, whatever you're killing in this first person or third person shooter, in this particular instance game. There's nothing. I feel like this game has the most amount of killing that I've ever seen in a game, and it is so unbelievably satisfying. It looks so good and it runs so smooth, with especially with all the moving parts when you get to the massive hordes of zombies. It is crazy how good it plays, and just the variety of different levels, different weaponry, different classes. It just all makes this, just I feel, a better version of Left 4 Dead. In the stories of each of these missions, it takes place in the World War Z universe, but I haven't read any of the books or haven't seen the World War Z movie or anything, but it does take place in that universe. And from what I understand, at least, is it does stick pretty true to that universe and stuff. And it is really cool to see these stories play out through these missions. I really do think the story aspect of this game is pretty good. And even though you're replaying the story over and over through these missions, it really hasn't ever gotten old to me. I mean, the missions themselves are just so fun that you kind of just tone out the story at some points. Like, I know all the voice lines and stuff to all of these missions, but it is just still so fun to play. And like right here, this is the very first mission you play, and it is such a great opening mission. It's probably one of the best just opening missions for a game in general. I mean, just seeing all of those zombies down there and you're gonna have to take them all out is just so cool and so satisfying. And when you finally like see the pyramid of zombies trying to climb up to you, it is I remember the first time playing it just getting goosebumps looking at this. And like, I mean, even right now I'm still kind of getting goosebumps because it is just crazy the amount of zombies there are that you have to take out. And each level has it. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, right? You're just taking out hordes of zombies, but the way the maps are designed, the way the enemies spawn in, it really does feel fresh, different, and exciting each time you play. I mean, just this is the coolest thing that I've seen in a zombie game. The pyramid stacking of the zombies and having to shoot out the bottom of them to make them all fall out. It is one of the coolest things I've ever seen, and it is just so satisfying to knock down a pyramid of zombies. It is it is like one of my favorite things, and it's definitely the reason that I love playing this game over and over and over. It just never gets old to me. And another thing I love about this game, more so than Left 4 Dead, for example, is that the higher difficulties you play don't make things. I mean, they make things harder, but like Left 4 Dead, for example, when you increase the difficulty, the zombies kind of become more bullet sponges. It takes more shots to kill them and stuff, and I really don't like that aspect of just like having to pump a lot of bullets into an enemy just to try and kill him. And when you increase the difficulty in this game, there's going to be more zombies. They do more damage to you, but it doesn't take more to kill any zombies. Their health always remains the same. Like, just the normal zombies are always one shot headshots basically with any weapon. And I mean, some of the special zombies are going to take some more shots, but all the health remains the same. It's just that it takes less damage for you to get killed, and there's just more zombies, which honestly just makes it more fun to play those higher difficulties. It does get challenging. It very much gets challenging at the higher difficulties, but it is a hell of a lot more fun just slaying thousands and literal thousands of zombies. Like, I can't emphasize that enough. And with the vast amount of weapon variety and the plethora of different classes that bring unique skills and unique equipment to the game, it really does feel fresh each time you play. And just leveling up these different classes and leveling up different weapons, it really gives you that replayability. Like, I think in this one I'm playing a fixer that I'm leveling up, and weapons, most of them I have leveled up, so there's not really anything that I need to level up, but I do try and find weapons that I haven't fully leveled up to try and use them, because the higher level weapons are, usually the better they are. And it's really cool. I really do think when you max out a level for a class, you can prestige it and it gets better, and when it's maxed out, it's really strong, and it feels really good to level up each class. And the uniqueness of each class and the variety of things they bring really stands out and really makes it better than any other zombie shooters out there, in my opinion. Just kind of speaking on that leveling up, I did want to go over probably my biggest downside in this game, and the fact that each time you level up a weapon or your class or stuff, you have to use this currency, which there's no microtransactions in this game. This is just currency that you get through playing levels, completing levels, and even if you don't complete a level, you'll get some of this currency. I don't know exactly what it's called. It's like a gold marker or whatever. We'll just call it gold, just to make it easy. Basically, anytime you level up, whether it be a weapon, whether it be a skill, you have to use this gold currency to unlock that skill. And just because you're going to be leveling it up a lot, and it's pretty easy to level up your class. Like, you can get a class maxed out probably within a few hours of playing. It's not really that difficult. And leveling up weapons, as long as you're like using that weapon throughout the level, you'll probably level it up. So it's pretty easy to level up stuff, but you're not getting enough currency to unlock those levels for whatever you're trying to level up usually. And that, I think, is really frustrating. It's just so much currency, and you just can't really there's nothing more you can do. You can play on higher difficulties, which get you more currency, but you need to be more maxed out, have more experience in order to play those higher difficulties and get through them. You can play Horde mode, which Horde mode's a lot of fun. That's more like a Nazi zombies type, where you're defending against hordes of zombies. That gets you a good amount of currency, but you have to survive high levels and stuff. So there's all these things that kind of it all just revolves around this currency that you're never getting enough of. And I really feel like that's frustrating, because when I first started playing, it was easy. Like, you would get enough currency to level up the stuff that you got through that mission. but now it seems like all of that has been nerfed, and it really just kind of makes it more difficult. You just have to play more, and it's a great game, right? I love playing this game, but just having to grind that out is really frustrating in my opinion. But I mean, other than that, I really do think this game is great. The only other downside, and it's I mean, people are gonna say it's a downside. I personally don't think it's a downside. Is there's a lot of DLC to this game, which I like. I like buying a DLC that actually feels like a DLC. It feels like that hasn't been in games in such a long time. I just think of a plethora of games that are just flooded with microtransactions, and this game really isn't. I don't. There's like weapon skin packs that you can buy, but when I talk about DLC, I'm talking about actual content for the game. I don't want skins or any of this stuff. Like, I don't ever really use skins in games, so having downloadable content that actually features missions and new places to play, new weapons and stuff to use. I think the weapons are actually free and you're just getting new missions. That is such a refreshment, and yeah, they're kind of on the pricier side for what you're getting. I mean, 3 missions for $10 is a little bit pricey, but the replayability is still there, and I really do think that most of the DLCs are really good. But just the base game alone has a lot of missions to it, and right now it's at that $15 price point, and I really think that's a great price point to buy this game. And I mean, just the variety of ways to play. Like, you can, I believe you can just press a button. You may have to go into the options, I'm not sure. I usually just play in third person mode because that's how the game has been for a while, but there is a first person mode now, and I mean, it's like, I mean, it's not like that much, right? You're just switching the camera to be more close to your character, but just it feels so different and it plays so differently, and it's just really cool to see a closer side, as it were, of this game. And with the horde mode too, which was I mean, not very recent but somewhat recent addition to the game, and just defending against waves of zombies is really fun and really refreshing. So it's not like you have to keep going through these missions and stuff. There are different ways to play it. There is even a PvP, I believe, but it's not that great. I mean, it's gonna be really tough to find a server. Like, even when I first got this game, when it first came out, it was pretty difficult to find people that wanted to PvP. This is definitely a PvE oriented game, and it still to this day is a lot of fun. I always come back to this game just when I want to slay out a ton of enemies. This is my go-to game. And one of my favorite aspects about the increasing difficulty that I forgot to mention is sound in this game. Sound is super important, and that's why you want to wait till you're a higher level to play those difficulties, because when you first start off, all your guns aren't going to be silenced. You have to upgrade your weapons to get silencers on them, and just the noise of that, just the noise of running around, attracts more and more zombies. And so you do, at these higher levels, have to kind of play it like a stealth game almost, which is really fun. And especially at this super, like, insane difficulty, I think is the highest level, you really have to just be careful and just make sure that you're being as quiet as possible while also trying to avoid massive amounts of zombies. So I really think that's a super fun aspect to these higher level games, or higher level difficulties in this game. And I love the simplicity of it too. I mean, you have just tons and tons of normal zombies. You have special zombies similar to Left 4 Dead, and each of them are super unique in what they do and how you're supposed to take them down. And then you just have your primary, your secondary, which is usually a pistol. You can get some other things. And then you can get special weapons as your third weapon, which are really good at taking out a lot of enemies quickly. And so it's just the simplicity of that is really fun. And there's not, and the only other thing, the main thing that makes each class unique is your equipment. So like for a fixer, you can use ammo bags that give you special explosive ammo, but right now I'm using these masking grenades that turn me invisible, which is really helpful for getting past mass amounts of zombies or just trying to pick up things when there's a horde around. So I really love playing this class and just how much uniqueness each class has. I mean, you have things like stim packs, you have things like grenades and stuff like that, depending on which class you play. So just the equipment alone makes each class pretty unique, but there's more to them than that because of their talent points and stuff. So it's really cool to see that. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like if you did, comment, and definitely hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
That rhythm.